Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a question for you, a question that can change the way you see your life forever. Are you the chosen one? You see, there's a truth that many miss in the chaos of daily life. Some people are not just meant to exist, they're meant to deed, to inspire, and to break barriers. But how do you know if that person is you? Let me walk you through 9 shocking signs that the universe, destiny, or even your own soul might be trying to scream at you. First, let's talk about this feeling of being different. You've never quite fit into the mold. When others feel comfortable blending in, you feel the need to break out. That sense of not belonging, it's not rejection, it's a signal that you're meant for more. Second, there's this fire in your gut, an unshakable drive to do something bigger. You might not even know what it is yet, but you can feel it. It's like a volcano of potential bubbling beneath the surface. Now here's the twist: the chosen ones don't get it easy. Life throws them into the deep end over and over again. Challenges, trials, pain. It's not punishment. It's the forge where greatness is born. And then there's intuition. Have you ever just known something without explanation? Those moments of clarity are not random. They're whispers of a higher calling guiding you toward your purpose. Here's another clue. Notice how people are drawn to you. Maybe they come to you for advice, support, or inspiration. Your presence has a magnetic pull, and it's not by accident. It's because you have something special to offer. But being chosen isn't just about influence. It's about empathy. Your heart is tuned to others' struggles and joys. You feel their pain and want to heal it. That's not weakness, it's your strength. And let's not forget those crazy coincidences. You see signs, patterns, synchronicities. It's like the universe is trying to nudge you, saying, yes, it's you, keep going. Finally, resilience. Life hits you hard, but you refuse to stay down. Every fall becomes a springboard. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. You were built to withstand the storm because you were born to lead through it. Now ask yourself, are these signs just coincidences, or is it just possible that you are the chosen one? Because if you are, it's time to stop doubting, stop hesitating, and step into your destiny. This world doesn't need more followers. It needs leaders. It needs people like you. So I'll leave you with one question that only you can answer. Are you ready to rise? Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit in? Like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to blend with the crowd? It's as if you're living in a world that speaks a language you don't fully understand. This feeling isn't comfortable, is it? It can feel isolating, even alienating, like you're the only one who doesn't belong. But what if I told you that this isn't a curse, it's a sign? That sense of not fitting in isn't about rejection or failure, it's about difference. And that difference is your power. Most people spend their lives trying to conform to expectations, fitting neatly into the boxes society has laid out for them. But you can't seem to do it no matter how hard you try. Why? Because you weren't built for the box. When you feel like you don't belong, it's often because you're not meant to follow the path that's been laid before you. You're meant to create your own. That uncomfortable sense of not connecting with the mainstream isn't something to fix, it's something to fix itself. It's an invitation to dig deeper into who you really are, to discover the unique gifts, perspectives, and abilities that set you apart. You see, the chosen ones are rarely understood at first. They're often misfits, rebels, and dreamers. They see the world differently, and that can make them feel like outsiders. But being an outsider gives you a unique vantage point. You can see what others miss, think in ways others don't, and dream bigger than anyone believes is possible. And let's be honest, belonging can be overrated. Belonging often means blending in, sacrificing parts of yourself to fit the mold. But the world doesn't need more sameness. It needs people who dare to stand out, to question, to innovate. The discomfort you feel, it's not a sign that you're broken, it's a sign that you're rare. But here's the hard truth: when you're different, the world won't always understand you. At least not at first. And that can be lonely. It can make you question yourself, doubt your instincts, and wonder if you're on the wrong path. But the reality is, you're not lost, you're just early. The world may not be ready for what you're here to do, but that doesn't mean you're not meant to do it. If you felt this way, I want you to remember one thing every great innovator, leader, and trailblazer in history has felt like you do. They didn't belong either. They didn't fit in because they weren't here to follow, they were here to lead. And so are you. This feeling of not belonging isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning. It's the universe whispering to you, saying you're different for a reason, you're here for something bigger. You might not know what that is yet, and that's okay. What matters is that you listen to that feeling, trust it, and let it guide you toward your purpose. So don't fight the feeling. Don't bury it or run from it. Embrace it. Let it remind you that you're not here to blend in, you're here to stand out. And the world desperately needs what only you can bring. There's a fire inside you, isn't there? A persistent, unrelenting urge that refuses to be silenced. It doesn't matter how many times you've been told to play it safe or stay in your lane. It doesn't matter how many obstacles have been thrown in your path. That inner drive keeps burning, pushing you forward, whispering, there's more for you. This isn't just ambition. Ambition is about wanting something, reaching for a goal, or achieving a status. But this is deeper. It's not about what you want, it's about who you are. It's a feeling that wells up from the core of your being, a knowing that you are meant to do something extraordinary, something that will leave a mark long after you're gone. The unshakable drive is not always easy to live with. In fact, it can feel like a burden at times. You might wonder why you can't just be satisfied like everyone else seems to be. Why can't you settle for the steady job, the predictable life, the comfortable routine? But that's not who you are. You weren't built for average, you were built for greatness, and that drive inside you is the proof. It's the thing that gets you out of bed when every part of you wants to stay under the covers. It's the force that makes you say yes to challenges when others would say no. It's the voice that refuses to let you give up, even when you've hit rock bottom. That drive doesn't care about your fears, your doubts, or the voices in your head telling you to quit. It's relentless because it knows your potential, even when you forget it. But let's be clear, this inner drive isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, a subtle tug on your heart that whispers you're meant for more. It's not always about big, dramatic moves. It's about the steady, consistent pull towards something greater, even when the path is unclear. This drive also comes with responsibility. It's not just about you, it's about what you're here to create, contribute, and inspire in others. Because when you're driven by something greater than yourself, you don't just change your own life, you change the lives of everyone around you. You become a beacon, a source of energy and possibility that others can't help but be drawn to. But here's the thing about unshakable drive, it doesn't come without challenges. The road will test you. You'll face setbacks, failures, and moments when it feels like the world is against you. That's not a sign to stop, it's a sign to dig deeper. Because this drive, it doesn't just give you the strength to achieve, it gives you the resilience to endure. And let's not forget, this inner drive isn't random. It's not something everyone has. It's a gift and it's a sign. It's the universe's way of saying, you're here to do something that matters. That burning desire to push forward, to create, to transform, it's your compass. It's guiding you toward your destiny, even when you can't see the whole map. So honor that drive. Listen to it, feed it, let it remind you of who you are and what you're here to do. Because that unshakable inner drive isn't just a part of you, it is you. It's your greatest ally, your ultimate fuel. And the reason you will not only rise but inspire others to rise with you. Life has a way of testing those who are destined for something greater. If you face challenge after challenge, setback after setback, it might feel like the world is conspiring against you. But what if it's doing the opposite? What if those challenges are shaping you, sharpening you, preparing you for something extraordinary? Recurrent challenges aren't random. They're not a sign of bad luck or some cruel twist of fate. They're a forge, and you are the blade being tempered. Each trial you've endured has taught you something vital, even if you didn't see it at the time. Strength, resilience, patience, adaptability, these aren't traits you're born with. They're traits you earn through fire. Think about it. The people who achieve greatness, who leave a lasting impact, are not the ones who had an easy path. They're the ones who were knocked down again and again and again, and chose to rise every single time. They didn't just survive their challenges, they used them. They turned their pain into purpose, their setbacks into stepping stones. But it's not just about getting through the hard times, it's about who you become because of them. Challenges strip away the superficial. They force you to confront your fears, doubts, and limitations. And in doing so, they reveal the core of who you are. When you're tested, you discover your capacity for courage, your ability to persevere, and your unwavering commitment to your vision. Recurrent trials are also a mirror. They reflect back to you the areas where you need to grow. They highlight your weaknesses, not to discourage you, but to show you where to focus your energy. They're a reminder that you're always a work in progress, and that's okay. Growth is messy, painful even, but it's necessary. And let's not forget, challenges don't just shape you, they also serve as a signal. If life is throwing you into the deep end over and over, it's because you're being prepared for something bigger. The greater the calling, the tougher the preparation. That's not punishment, it's preparation. It's the universe asking, how bad do you want it? How much are you willing to grow to reach it? There's also something incredibly powerful about facing adversity and overcoming it. It gives you a sense of clarity and confidence that nothing else can. When you've survived your worst days, what's left to fear? Challenges build a kind of unshakable self-belief. They remind you that no matter how hard things get, you have what it takes to keep moving forward. And perhaps the most beautiful part of recurrent challenges is the empathy they cultivate in you. When you struggled, you understand others who are struggling. You become a source of strength and inspiration, not because you've had it easy, but because you've walked through the fire and emerged stronger. So if you feel like life keeps throwing you into the storm, know this: the storm is your teacher. The obstacles are your training ground. The trials aren't there to stop you, they're there to build you into the person you need to become to fulfill your purpose. You weren't chosen for an easy path. You were chosen for a meaningful one. And every challenge you face is proof that you're on the right track. So embrace the trials. They're not the end of your journey, they're the beginning of transformation. Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something without needing an explanation? A flash of understanding that seemed to come from nowhere, yet felt truer than anything you'd learned through logic or reason. That's intuitive clarity, and it's one of the most powerful signals that you're in tune with something greater than yourself. Intuition isn't loud or forceful. It doesn't shout over the noise of everyday life. Instead, it whispers. It's that quiet voice within that speaks when everything else is still. It's not always easy to hear because the world is so full of distractions, doubts, and external expectations. But when you do tune into it, intuition becomes your most reliable guide. This kind of clarity often feels like a sudden download of information, a moment where everything clicks. You might not understand why you know what you know, but the feeling is undeniable. It's not guesswork or wishful thinking. It's a deeper level of knowing that bypasses the rational mind. Intuitive clarity can show up in many ways. Sometimes it's a strong gut feeling that tells you to trust someone or not. Other times it's a sense of certainty about a decision, even when the logical path seems to suggest otherwise. It might be an idea that strikes you out of the blue, as if the universe planted it directly into your mind. What's remarkable about intuition is how often it proves right. You might ignore it, second guess it, or dismiss it as coincidence, but how many times have you looked back and thought, I should have trusted my gut? That's because intuition isn't random. It's the culmination of your subconscious mind, your experiences, and a connection to something greater. Call it your higher self, the universe, or even divine guidance. This clarity often becomes sharper during pivotal moments in life when faced with big decisions or moments of uncertainty. Intuition has a way of stepping in to show you the path forward. It's like a compass pointing you toward your true north, even when the road ahead is foggy. But here's the thing about intuitive clarity: it requires trust. You have to be willing to follow it, even when it doesn't make logical sense. This can be terrifying because we're taught to rely on data, facts, and reasoning. But intuition works differently. It asks you to have faith in what you feel, even if you can't explain why. Listening to your intuition also requires stillness. In the chaos of modern life, it's easy to drown out that inner voice with noise, busyness, and doubt. But when you create space for reflection, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply quiet moments, you open yourself up to the clarity waiting within you. There's something profoundly empowering about intuitive clarity. It reminds you that you already have the answers. You don't need to rely on external validation or constant advice from others. The wisdom you seek is already inside you, waiting for you to trust it. And intuition doesn't just guide your decisions, it also aligns you with your purpose. The more you listen to it, the more you'll find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people and experiencing the opportunities meant for you. It's as if the universe conspires to support those who trust their inner knowing. So if you've ever felt that quiet but undeniable nudge in your soul, don't ignore it. Lean into it. Intuitive clarity is your superpower. It's the bridge between who you are now and who you're meant to become. Trust it, follow it, and watch as it leads you toward a life that feels not only successful, but profoundly aligned with who you are at your core. Have you noticed how people seem naturally drawn to you? They seek you out for advice, comfort, or inspiration. They're captivated by something about you, even if they can't put it into words. This isn't a coincidence. It's not just because you're kind, intelligent, or charismatic. It's because there's something about your energy, your presence that resonates deeply with others. When people are drawn to you, it's often because they sense a strength, a clarity, or a light within you that they want to be near. They might not consciously realize it, but they feel safer, more hopeful, or more understood in your presence. You don't have to do anything special or say the perfect words, just being who you are is enough to make an impact. This magnetism comes from something deeper than surface qualities. It's a reflection of your authenticity, your purpose, and your inner alignment. When you're in tune with who you truly are, that energy radiates outward. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare in a world full of masks and facades. When you show up as your true self, it gives others permission to do the same. But there's more to it than just being genuine. The people who are drawn to you often sense something they need, whether it's guidance, encouragement, or just the comfort of being understood. You might not always realize it, but you serve as a source of strength and inspiration. Your ability to listen, empathize, or simply be there makes a difference in ways you may never fully see. This natural ability to attract others is a sign that you're meant to lead, to inspire, or to serve in some capacity. Leadership doesn't always mean being in charge of a team or standing on a stage. True leadership is about influence, about making others feel seen, heard, and empowered. When people gravitate toward you, it's because they recognize your capacity to lead not through force, but through connection. At times, this can feel overwhelming. You might wonder why so many people lean on you, why you're the one they come to when they need help. You might even feel like it's too much, like you're carrying the weight of others' expectations or emotions. But understand this, people come to you because they see something in you that they admire or need. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being a steady presence in their storm. And while it's a gift to be able to draw others toward you, it's also important to set boundaries. Your energy is precious, and you must take care of yourself to continue being that source of light for others. Learning to balance giving with protecting your own peace is crucial. When you embrace this gift of connection, incredible things happen. The people you inspire go on to inspire others. The support you offer ripples outward in ways you can't always see. This isn't just about relationships, it's about creating impact. By being the person others turn to, you're actively shaping the world around you. And here's the beauty of it: the more you embrace your purpose, the stronger this magnetism becomes. The more you step into your authentic self, the more people will be drawn to your light. It's not about trying to be someone you're not or seeking attention. It's about allowing your unique energy and gifts to shine through, naturally attracting those who need what only you can offer. So if you've noticed people seeking you out, don't dismiss it as random. It's a sign of your unique role in this world. You're not just here to exist, you're here to connect, to inspire, and to lift others. Embrace it, because the lives you touch will be part of the legacy you leave behind. There's a certain depth to how you feel, isn't there? You don't just see the pain in others, you feel it. When someone shares their struggles, it's as though their emotions flow into you, stirring your own soul. It's not something you can turn off, nor would you want to. This is empathy, not the kind that's taught or practiced, but the kind that's innate, deeply rooted in who you are. And while it can feel like a heavy burden at times, it's also one of your greatest strengths. Heightened empathy allows you to connect with others on a profound level. You can sense what people need even when they can't articulate it themselves. You pick up on the subtleties, the tone of voice, the unspoken tension, the flicker of an emotion across someone's face. It's as if you have a sixth sense tuned to the frequency of human emotion. This ability isn't just about understanding others, it's about being there for them in a way that feels deeply personal and genuine. When you're empathetic, people naturally feel comfortable opening up to you. They sense that you're not just listening to their words, but truly hearing their heart. They feel seen and understood in a way that's rare. For someone who feels alone or misunderstood, your presence can be life-changing. You give them permission to be vulnerable, to let their guard down, and to feel less alone in their struggles. But heightened empathy isn't without its challenges. Feeling deeply means you absorb the energy around you, both the positive and the negative. If someone is hurting, you feel it. If someone is angry or upset, you carry that weight with you. This emotional sensitivity can be exhausting, especially if you don't have tools to protect your own energy. You might also find yourself overwhelmed by the state of the world. Injustice, suffering, and pain hit you harder than most because you don't just see them, you feel them. You might struggle with the question, why can't I do more? But the truth is, your empathy is doing more. It's creating ripples of compassion and understanding that extend far beyond what you can see. Empathy is not a weakness, it's a gift. It allows you to heal, to inspire, and to connect. It's what makes you a beacon of light in a world that can often feel dark. And while it's important to give, it's equally important to replenish yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, and protecting your emotional well-being is not selfish, it's necessary. When you embrace your heightened empathy, you become a force for good. You bring comfort to those who are hurting. You offer guidance to those who feel lost. You inspire others to care simply by showing them what compassion looks like. Your ability to feel deeply doesn't just make you more connected, it makes you a catalyst for change. Empathy also gives you a unique perspective. You can see the world not just as it is, but as it could be. You feel the potential for healing, for unity, for growth. And because you're so attuned to the emotions of others, you often know exactly what to say or do to bridge gaps and bring people together. So if your heightened empathy ever feels like too much, remember this, it's not a curse, it's your superpower. It's the thing that makes you capable of creating meaningful connections, of inspiring change, and of leaving a legacy of kindness. Just protect it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Because in a world that often feels disconnected, your empathy is a reminder of what it means to truly care. And that is something the world can't live without. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything just seemed to align in a way that defied logic? A random encounter, an unexpected opportunity, or a seemingly small event that had an outsized impact on your life? These are not mere accidents. These are unusual coincidences and synchronicities, and they often serve as powerful signs that you are on a meaningful path. Synchronicity is the universe's way of speaking to you, of weaving connections and events together to guide you toward your purpose. It's that uncanny feeling when something happens that's too perfect, too timely to be random. Maybe you've been thinking about a friend and they call you out of the blue. Or perhaps you were contemplating a major decision and then a book, a message, or a stranger's words gave you the clarity you needed. These moments aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. These events often feel magical, almost surreal, because they defy our understanding of how things should work. But that's the beauty of synchronicity. It bypasses logic and speaks directly to your intuition. It's the universe saying, pay attention. You're on the right track. What makes these moments so powerful is how they resonate with you on a deep personal level. They feel meaningful because they are. Synchronicities often show up when you're seeking answers, facing a crossroads, or stepping into a new phase of your life. They act as guideposts, reassuring you that even if the path ahead feels uncertain, you are not walking it alone. Unusual coincidences also have a way of connecting people. You might meet someone who seems to appear out of nowhere, only to realize later that their presence was pivotal in your journey. These chance encounters often feel orchestrated, as if the universe conspired to bring you together at exactly the right time. But synchronicity isn't just about big, life-changing moments. It can also appear in the small, everyday details. Maybe it's seeing the same numbers over and over, like 11, 11, 11, or 333. Or perhaps it's stumbling upon a message that speaks directly to a question you've been silently carrying. These subtle signs are no less significant. They remind you to stay present, to trust the flow of life, and to recognize that you're part of something much larger than yourself. Embracing synchronicity requires a certain openness, a willingness to believe that life is not just a series of random events. It asks you to trust that there is a deeper order, a hidden harmony, guiding you toward your purpose. When you begin to notice these patterns, they seem to multiply. The more you acknowledge them, the more they appear, creating a sense of momentum and alignment in your life. However, synchronicities aren't meant to do all the work for you. They're not a substitute for effort or action. Instead, they're like cosmic nudges, encouraging you to take the next step, to follow your intuition, and to trust that the path will unfold as it's meant to. Sometimes these moments can feel almost too coincidental, leading you to question their legitimacy. But ask yourself this: what do you lose by believing in them? By allowing these moments to inspire you, to guide you, and to give you a sense of connection to something greater? Often it's in trusting these signs that you unlock new opportunities and insights that you might otherwise have overlooked. So if you've noticed unusual coincidences or synchronicities in your life, pay attention. They're not random. They're signs that you're aligned with your purpose, that you're moving in harmony with the greater flow of the universe. These moments are whispers from the divine, reminding you that you are not alone, that your journey has meaning, and that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. Trust them, follow them, and let them lead you toward the extraordinary life you're destined to live. There's a quiet power and resilience that sets certain people apart. It's not just about surviving hardship, it's about emerging stronger, wiser, and more determined after every challenge. But magnetic resilience goes even deeper than that. It's not just the ability to bounce back, it's the ability to inspire others to do the same. It's a force that draws people to you because they see in you the strength they wish to find in themselves. When you possess magnetic resilience, you become a living example of what it means to rise above circumstances. You don't just weather the storm, you transform it into an opportunity for growth. People notice this. They see how you handle adversity with grace and determination, and they can't help but be drawn to your energy. They see someone who refuses to be defined by setbacks, someone who turns pain into power. This kind of resilience isn't just built overnight. It's forged in the fire of life's trials. Every setback, every loss, every difficult moment has shaped you, strengthened you, and prepared you for what lies ahead. You've learned to adapt, to persevere, and to find solutions even when the odds were stacked against you. And through it all, you've cultivated an inner strength that radiates outward, attracting others who want to learn from your journey. Magnetic resilience isn't about pretending everything is fine or suppressing your emotions. On the contrary, it's about facing challenges head on and allowing yourself to feel, process, and heal. True resilience comes from embracing the full spectrum of your experiences, both the joy and the pain, and using them as fuel for growth. This authenticity is what makes your resilience so magnetic. People are drawn to your honesty, your vulnerability, and your ability to turn struggle into strength. One of the most remarkable aspects of magnetic resilience is its contagious nature. When people witness your determination and positivity in the face of adversity, it sparks something within them. It reminds them that they too can overcome their challenges. Your energy becomes a source of hope, showing others that setbacks are not the end, they're a new beginning. But magnetic resilience doesn't mean you don't feel the weight of life's difficulties. You're human, and there are moments when you feel the strain of it all. What sets you apart is your refusal to stay down. You've developed the ability to pick yourself up, to find meaning in the struggle, and to keep moving forward. This unshakable determination becomes a beacon for those who feel lost in their own challenges. Resilience of this kind also comes with a deep sense of purpose. When you've overcome significant obstacles, you start to understand that your journey isn't just about you. It's about the impact you can have on others. Every time you rise after a fall, you're not just proving something to yourself, you're inspiring everyone who's watching. Magnetic resilience also requires a mindset shift. It's about choosing to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. It's about believing that every setback carries a lesson, every detour holds a purpose, and every hardship is a step towards something greater. This mindset doesn't eliminate the pain of struggle, but it transforms how you experience it. Resilience at this level is rooted in hope. Even in the darkest moments, there's a part of you that believes in a better future. This hope is what keeps you going, what allows you to persevere when others might give up. And hope, when combined with action, is one of the most powerful forces in the world. The beauty of magnetic resilience is that it doesn't just lift you, it lifts everyone around you. It's a reminder that strength isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about embracing them and coming out the other side with a story worth telling. And when you embody this kind of resilience, you don't just survive, you thrive. You become a source of inspiration, a symbol of what's possible, and a testament to the power of the human spirit. So if you face challenges that tested your limits, know this, they weren't meant to break you, they were meant to build you. Your resilience is not only your strength, it's your gift to the world. It's what makes you magnetic, what draws people to you, and what ensures that your legacy will be one of courage, determination, and unwavering hope. So are you the chosen one? Look back on everything we've explored, the signs, the challenges, the inner knowing, and the undeniable pull of your life's path. These experiences aren't random. They are the echoes of something greater calling out to you, guiding you toward a purpose only you can fulfill. You felt the weight of not belonging, the relentless drive to move forward, the trials that shaped you, and the clarity that keeps nudging you in the right direction. You've experienced the unexplainable connections, the magnetism that draws people to you, the empathy that allows you to touch hearts, and the resilience that shines through even the darkest of times. These aren't just traits or coincidences, they're the markers of someone destined to make an impact. Being the chosen one doesn't mean life will be easy. It means life will be meaningful. It means you've been equipped with everything you need to navigate the journey ahead, not just for your sake, but for the sake of others who will be inspired, healed, and uplifted by your presence. You're not here to live an ordinary life. You're here to rise above the noise, to step boldly into your purpose, and to remind the world what's possible when someone dares to embrace their calling. The signs are there. The path is waiting. And whether you realize it or not, you've been preparing for this moment your entire life. The question isn't, are you the chosen one? The question is, are you ready to own it? The world is waiting for your light. Step forward and let it shine.